Morning. Right, just a quick video this morning. As I say, I'm working on the schedule for the big road trip video, so I'm not sure when that will be. It might be later this evening, it might not, it might be Tuesday. Anyway, I want to talk about this one. Jaecoo J7 outsells Qashqai as Chinese brands build traction. This is the Chinese Jaecoo J7. I call it the Johnny Smith special, and if you don't get that joke, never mind. Right, so before we dive into this video, let me do a bit of housekeeping. Sale room updates, if you will. Here's a great comment that came in. Hey Geoff, I'm a 17-year-old lad. I live in Worcester. I just bought a Volvo XC70 2006. Just wanted to say thank you for getting me interested in cars and Volvos. Would love for you to see it when I've done a few touch-ups on it. And I said, absolutely brilliant. This is a 17-year-old lad, just started driving, and he's buying a car that's older than him because he's seen it on my YouTube channel. I feel like that makes me an influencer, which is hilarious, so that's cool. And I like this comment as well. You should do the John O'Groats against Lee in an Audi V8 just to prove that even an uneconomical V8 barge beats a milk float. If not on fuel economy, then at least on time spent. You could add in depreciation and have it win on economy too. Defeating Lee in a 1.6D is hardly a challenge. Nice idea. I like that. Maybe we'll have a look at that one in the future. And then there's this. Do you remember I said about this car in my video just the other day? It's a 2.5 diesel, and I said it would be a great buy. Well, I've had someone get in touch with me and said, here, Geoff, what do you reckon about these Volvo diesels? And he's bought it. So we're in touch on WhatsApp, so I know exactly where this car is. And if he ever gets bored of it, it's going to come to me. Let's do the article then. Jaecoo outsells Qashqai, right? So I read this and I thought, what's going on here? And I figured I needed to find out a little bit more about the Jaecoo. So here's the article before we go into the hilarious things that I found about the Jaecoo. So the J7 outsold the Qashqai in the UK last month, highlighting the challenge posed to long-established competitors by the Chinese cucumber, the Chinese cucumber. A total of 2,611 examples of the 7 were registered in the UK, according to data published by the SMMT, who hide their data behind a paywall, compared with 2,461 Qashqais. All right. The Qashqai remains at the top over the past 3 months, 35,000 Qashqais on the road 2025. Ignore that bit for the moment because I've got a better video coming up about car sales numbers, because it's astonishing that Ford ever axed the Fiesta and the Focus. I've gone back to 2015, so I've gone back 10 years to look at what was selling and what wasn't. And that's going to be a really interesting video because it's just shocking how these manufacturers have just handed the game to China. Now, you've got influencers. As I said, I'm joking around here saying that I'm an influencer, telling people to buy Volvos. Influencer Johnny Smith, who has many more followers than me, he famously did a Jaecoo challenge where they challenged him to drive something like 4 miles in 3 days. He got paid a fortune for doing it, and he got ripped to shreds in the comments. But that makes people go, oh, Johnny Smith's got one on the channel. And, you know, not just Johnny Smith as well. Other media outlets, all of the car magazines are all over the Jaecoo J7. And people are going, oh, do you know what? I might go and get a Jaecoo. So I thought, well, are they any good? So I dived into the Jaecoo UK Owners Club on Facebook. And I tell you what I found in there was pretty shocking. I've got some theories, and I'll share my theories at the end of the video, because I don't want to share them now, because many of you will be like, Geoff, you can't say that, and then you'll sign off and not watch the video. But let's look at some of these screenshots that I've got, and then I'll explain it to you. So here we go. Are the beasties easy to manipulate the entry system like Range Rovers? So someone's asking if these Jaekoos are getting stolen like Range Rovers. That's a pretty obvious question, isn't it? Because nobody's going to steal a Jaecoo, ship it across the channel, and have it in Albania, because they can just do that with Range Rovers. So someone says, I don't think so, as they'd not want to nick one because it takes too long to set off. And if they don't put the seatbelt on, they're going nowhere. And there you go. There's a hint, right, of people who are in the know about these cars and what they actually think of them. Here's a really good one, okay? And this is going to come back to, I should have put this at the end, because this is going to come back to my theory on the kind of people that are buying these Jaekoos. Help needed. When I took the lease out on my new Jaecoo J7 Hybrid a week ago, I added the service package for an extra £150 a month. Right. Do we need to carry on? Those of you that have got old cars, you're already laughing at this. I just tried to book the first 1,000-mile check with my local dealer, and the first available date is December 29th. I can't wait that long, as I will then be over the 5,000 miles. £150 a month for a 1,000-mile service every month. I'm confused. And like, the dealer's just doing people over, or is that what stuff costs these days? And then Jack says, £150 a month. I paid £599 for 4 years. So I assume he means $599 as in a one-off payment. And this poor person has been done over by the dealer paying £150 a month for a service plan. It's just insanity. So that was cool. And then Amina says, your plan will cover one service a year up to 10,000 miles. I need 2 services a year, but I'm still thinking I might cancel it anyway. Yes, because 2 services per year on your brand new car is going to cost you what's the maths? £1,800? Just insanity. Absolutely insanity. So, yeah, these people who are buying them, they ain't the brightest tools in the shed. They are not the brightest tool in the sandwich. There are a few tools short of a sandwich, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go a bit further on, and I'll prove my point. Here's a good one. When driving, my wheels seem to swerve a bit. What causes that? No question mark, no real description as to what's actually happening, but if you dive into the 13 comments, it turns out that they haven't realised that they've got lane assist on and the car is trying to move back into its existing lane, and the person that's driving it hasn't noticed that the car is interfering with their controls. Yeah, here you go, Amanda, take off LDP, lane discipline planning, or whatever that stands for, but that's exactly what it is. So, again, not the sharpest sandwich in the toolbox. Sam James, warning to prospective buyers. I bought a J7 a few weeks ago and never have I experienced a more glitchy car. The alarm goes off randomly. Often I drive in silence as there's connectivity issues. It doesn't lock when I walk away from it. If it does, it might unlock again randomly. There's debris in the caliper. I returned it after a week. The dealer ran diagnostics and said there was no problems, even though 7 of the checks couldn't communicate with the module. Life's too short, so I rejected the car. The dealer's had it now for a fortnight. They will not return my calls, and it looks like I am lawyering up. I get it, it's a cheap car, but it should still work, especially if it's new. They're crap, basically, is what I'm saying. And don't believe people when they tell you that they're not, because they're just Chinese rubbish. I don't think they've even been crash tested as well, but I'll make a separate video about that. But this is one of the best-selling cars in the UK now. It's hilarious. Sam, I totally feel for you. I had issues with my J7 and I had to reject it. Chloe, exactly the same issues with the alarm going off randomly and doors locking and unlocking. Take your pick. I mean, this goes on and on and on. Let's do some more. Has anyone had any of the following issues? Screen flickering on and off. Going off when you're going over a bump. Loose connection. Issues with mechanics underneath the car coming loose. Driver's front wheel area. Scratchy brake sound. Gradually getting worse. Sound of metal rubbing against each other. It's booked into the dealership Thursday. I wonder if anyone had had a similar experience. It's my second one since April. The first one was rejected by me due to battery mechanical issues. But there you go. Look at that. That is 2 Jaekoos sold in 2025 to one person. That's good for the books, isn't it? Anonymous participant says, this car has been highlighted by a lot of people regarding all sorts of problems. I think I'll look elsewhere. And to be fair, there are some people that say there's nothing to complain about, but the numbers are a bit weird. This person's so intelligent, she hasn't even worked out how to take a film of the car in landscape mode and then upload it. So that's cool. Just picked up our new Jaecoo from Bassett's in Swansea, and we love it. But how do we turn the beep off when it locks? Brilliant. Another one here. First time driving it and the dark and rain. Just noticed the sticks don't light or glow, so can't see the dials for the windscreen and can't see the letters on drive or reverse. Had to get the phone and use the light to check. I live in a rural area, so no street lights. I know I prob get used to positions, but rather dangerous. And I thought, is this just someone that hasn't worked out how to turn the lights on? But this is apparently a thing. Same as any other car I've ever had. No idea why you're saying it's dangerous. Do the things not light up in the night time? Like, you know, was it not got any interior lights? But that's not the only person that is complaining about things like that. Again, a very well thought out car. Here's a good one. Only had the car since Thursday, and this keeps popping up today. Anyone else got this? Did you have to take it in, or did it start working by itself? And this is some form of emergency lane keeping thing. Broken contact service. I don't know how they filmed that either, because I couldn't work out how to mirror that. So that problem's straight off the bat. I like this though. I do actually like this. All right. In defence of this group, a fellow Jaecooan. So we're Jaecooans now, are we? Left this Panda on our car in Huddersfield Retail Park. If you're on here, thank you. Rest assured it will be forwarded. I like the idea of owners sharing things amongst themselves. So that's a nice little respite in this video. Because there are nice things happening in the community. Here's another one. Hi folks, just picked up a J7 self-healing spanner. If I run it in EV and don't touch any other settings, will the engine kick in when required? I've seen posts about cars losing power on motorways and stopping. This is another theme in this Jaecoo online owners group. People have are not reading the manual. Not, I'll defend that because I'm a bloke. I don't read the manual. But it seems that there's a lot of people that are taking delivery of these cars and having nothing explained to them by the dealer. It's because they're all Motability. Spoiled the surprise. Abby Williams, is the road tax free? I forgot to ask the salesperson. How can you buy a car without asking how much the road tax is? It just says to me that the people that are buying these, all right, let's not hold any punches back. The people that are buying these Jaekoos don't know anything about cars, and that's okay. It's okay to be a person that doesn't know anything about cars, but that means one of the best selling cars in the UK is selling to people that don't know anything about the product. How do I see my actual mileage used? Here you go. What kind of question is that? It gets better. Has anyone been experienced a creaky noise coming from the headlining? Ever since I've had the DAB update a month ago, I've noticed creaking sounds coming from the headlining above the front passenger. When I press lightly on the headlining, you could feel it move and stick to the roof. And then a second later, you hear it unstick. Right, let me go back to this car because it's 30 years old, right? This is a 1997 car. Volvos, when they get to this age, if they've lived in the sun, their headlining falls down. Do you know why that is? It's because the glue is 30 years old. I would not expect my headlining to be falling down on a brand new car. Where did we get to? Up here, I think. Unfortunately, my brand new J7 broke down today after only going 100 miles. Had the car for 1 month. I'd noticed it'd been making loud revving noises at certain speeds and struggled to accelerate a few days ago. While driving on the dual carriageway today, it wouldn't accelerate, then lost all power, and I had to coast the vehicle to the side of the road to wait for the RAC. The error code said there was a power issue and I should contact assistance. I'm not impressed. Previously had an 11-year-old Audi that never broke down. Imagine that. It's amazing. I mean, he's not a follower. I'll arrange to have it towed to a dealership so they can address the issue. Another person, this happened to me once. And then Terry says, it's always the car's fault when the owner doesn't read the manual and drive it correctly. Yeah, nice one, helpful Terry. Shah. This is a really funny one. So my smart key battery has died so rapidly. I have the car since the 10th of September and the battery did not even last a full 2 months. In all my previous cars, they lasted at least 2 years. Has anyone experienced the same? Someone here, I've had my car since the 19th of September this year, 2025, and changed the battery 3 times. Scott, I had the same. I'm staggered by this, right? I've been rocking around in old cars since forever, and I think I've been to Timpson's to get a battery for a key fob once in my whole life. So twice in 3 months is just insane. Where did that one go to? There's just so many. That was the battery one. Right, here we go. I just purchased 7. Does it come with wheel locking nuts? To which someone replied, I wouldn't worry about the locking wheel nuts. Nobody in their right mind will ever steal these pig ugly wheels. Who's stealing wheels off a Jaecoo? Chris, I have a Rolex wall charger type for our previous hybrid. I've now tried 2 different adapters from type 1 to type 2. However, after 10 minutes of charging, the house fuse trips. Has anyone else had problems with adapters? Someone says, honestly, I would consult a qualified electrician. It could be drawing too much electric for the circuit. And keep going. You're going to burn your house down. This is a good one as well. This is just another example of what gets posted in this group. What does the auto button do? I can't find any reference in the manual. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is a good one as well. People can't insure them. I'm struggling to get insurance, so Jaecoo is just parked on the driveway. Aviva won't transfer the insurance from my current car to Jaecoo, and there's no specific reasons provided. Quotes from comparison websites triple over my current $470 a year for a Qashqai. Nothing changed except the Jaecoo. Is this normal? And when you look at the replies, yes, people are having these problems. And Paul quite rightly said, because it's a ship Chinese car that has no ability to supply parts for repair, cheap to buy, expensive to own, stop buying rubbish. And there's 68 likes on it. And this is inside a Jaecoo owners group. So they know. Right, we're getting to the end now. Looking at buying a J7, does anybody not plug theirs in? What's your MPG? We can't plug it in at home. This is another one of these. All right, I reckon they're all Motability. Because you then get like really stupid questions. There's a lot of people asking about fuel economy, for example. And if you wanted to know the fuel economy of this car, think about how you'd phrase the question to someone who owns one. You'd say, what kind of miles per gallon do you get? What's it like on fuel? But no, this is one of my favourites. Where's it gone? Please, can someone tell me how much a full tank is on the Jaecoo? How long does it last? Thinking of getting it. How long does the fuel tank last? What kind of question is that? Does this person not realise that it's totally relative to what the kind of driving is that you do? So here's my theory, right? Let's just go back to this image here for my theory. My theory is that Motability, now maybe this needs to be another video. Motability is one of these things where we've reached a stage now where Motability is, and I will make a special video about Motability, all right? I'm going to try to spitball this now. Motability is a UK scheme that allows the government to help people into cars if they have the need. It provides a payment, which is on a varying degree, and that means they can go and buy a new car with government support. The problem the government has got is selling new cars is a really good way to bolster the economy, and a way to bolster the economy and get people to sell cars is to open up the capabilities of Motability so that people that probably didn't really deserve the help are now getting it. I'm not going to deny there's plenty of people that have Motability that need it, disabled children, wheelchair users, yada, yada, yada. Absolutely, it's a good thing. What's not a good thing, though, is now that they've opened up the criteria for Motability, it's attracting the sort of people that like to get benefits, if that makes sense. And these people, there's a direct correlation between people that get a lot of benefits and not being all that intelligent. So, there you go. That's my conclusion. The reason that the Jaecoo is outselling the Nissan Qaskqai is because people are stupid. Tell me apart in the comments. Go on, tell me apart in the comments. Thanks for watching.